Tracy, thank you. And the church certainly do appreciate the opportunity to be here with all of you. Our agenda tonight is going to be talking about the affordability and financing, location, property condition, the market conditions and investment, and long-term suitability. So these are topics that are really heavy on home buyers' minds or somebody who's maybe looking to purchase again. So I hope to cover all of this with you. Please feel free to write down your questions, and if it's not answered, we're happy to do that at the end for you. Affordability and financing. Can I afford the mortgage, property taxes, and the monthly payments? How do I secure financing? And will I be able to manage a long-term mortgage? So a licensed mortgage loan officer, and that's what I am, we are trained and we are educated to help you through the process. We encourage you to complete a pre-approval, and the pre-approval process must have a 2-year residency, 2 years worth of work history, and we need to review your credit and your assets. All of this information combined helps us to determine the best loan program for you, and also helps to determine what that mortgage payment will look like. There are guidelines in place. Our goal is to set you up for future success, not to bring you any strife. So when you take your current debt, and it could be student loans, your car payments, credit card payments, whatever debt that you have, and we add a mortgage payment to that, we divide that into your gross monthly income, and that's how we come up with the debt to income. So we do like to keep that under 50%. Again, you may have a different goal of what you want that mortgage payment to be, and that is what I focus on. You know what your financial goals are, how you like to spend your money, give to the church, whatever those priorities are for you. You can still own a home and still keep all of that intact. Okay, next. Location. Is the neighborhood safe and convenient? Are there good schools, parks, amenities? And how far is it from work and public transportation? When you are working with a really good qualified agent, that agent is going to be familiar with where the area that you are looking to buy. So I work closely with your agent, with your real estate agent, to provide them with the amount that you can afford to purchase up to. And that's something that you and I discuss. And so meanwhile, you also want to kind of have an idea of where you want to live. Studies consistently show a positive correlation between homeownership and the quality of neighborhoods, with higher ownership rates often with lower poverty, crime, and other social problems. Homeowners invest in their schools, local organizations, and more activities in their community. So owning a home builds up a neighborhood, and so it's always a good idea to be able to purchase, and you want to find a home that's convenient for you, for your family, and to be able to give you all the things that you're looking for. Unlock opportunities. There are several opportunities to help with down payment assistance, closing cost, and home buyer grants. Local municipalities have several grant programs available for qualified buyers. I would encourage you, depending on the city that you're going to purchase, to start that process with them now. They do have a lengthy program, but it's worth it if you can get thousands of dollars to help you towards your purchase. In addition to that, we are very fortunate in the state of Virginia to have partnered with Virginia Housing. I work closely with Virginia Housing that can offer down payment assistance. They can offer grants, and they have closing cost assistance for veterans. Veterans are entitled to 100% of the purchase price as long as they qualify, and sometimes they need help with those closing cost assistance. Virginia Housing just released last week a new program called First Home Dream Program. The First Home Dream Program is a special allocation for a reduced rate funding to the first generation of home buyers. Federal Home Loan Bank grants are also available, and that is while funds last. So for Federal Home Loan Bank grants can go for first-time home buyers, community partners, which are your 911, police, teachers, veterans, and then we have a workforce program. So it's all based upon the total household income for the Federal Home Loan Bank grant. All grants are based on total household income. So if it's only you on the loan, but you do live with someone else that has income, we do need to see what their income is to see what that total household income looks like. Okay. The condition of the property. Is the house good structural condition? Are there any hidden issues? Plumbing, electrical, any repairs or renovations? So when you find a property, you're going to make an offer, and once your offer is accepted, it's highly encouraged that you do have a home inspection, and a licensed home inspector will actually go through the property with a fine-tooth comb, and he is going to be able to tell you if there's any hidden things. They almost have tools that they can almost see through the walls. But they will look at it. They'll see if there's any electrical, if there's anything wrong with the HVAC system. We don't want you to go into a home to where you're in the house and all of a sudden you don't have air condition or heat. And that's a huge expense for a home buyer to incur when they first have a property. If you have found the right house or the right neighborhood, it's the right schools, it's close to your work, to your church, and there's not many homes in that neighborhood, but all of a sudden one comes on the market that probably needs some TLC, we do have renovation loans that could help you. So you easily could take a condition of a property that just needs some extra work and turn that frog into a prince. Okay. And this is how we get to our next screen, which is talking about the 203K. So FHA has a 203K program. It's affordable, it has great rates to it, and it does allow you to have your dream home. So you may find a home in a neighborhood, again, like I just shared, that meets all of your needs as far as your work, church, school, activities, where you like to shop, maybe close to family. But that one house needs, maybe it has 2 bedrooms and you'd like to add a third. Maybe it does need a new HVAC system. You can actually roll those renovation costs into the cost of the loan, and that is called a 203K. I highly encourage that you, and these are things that I go through the process. The great thing about our company is that we have a 203K specialist. So she works with your contractor, and I work with you to get your loan approved. Okay, so you can actually have your dream and get the needs of the home to be done. One thing I wanted to say about the condition of the property, just to kind of keep in mind, there are 2 sides, 2 parts to getting a loan approved. The first part is the borrower, and that would be you. Are you qualified to pay back the loan? That's the credit portion of the loan. The second part is the collateral, which is the property. So the investor or the bank wants to know that that home is in good shape. It meets the lending guidelines. God forbid something happens and you can no longer make that mortgage payment and the bank has to take it back. They want to know that they can resell it pretty quickly. Okay. Long-term suitability. Does this fit my current future needs? Will the space work for my family? And does the layout function for a long haul? According to the National Association of Realtors, since 2018, the average family stays in a home between 13 and 16 years. In 2008, it was 6 years. So we are staying in our homes much longer than they used to before. These are good questions for you to ask and to maybe take a screenshot of when you are working with an agent, and when you're looking for that right home, think of the space that it will have for you and your family as your family grows to make sure it meets all of your needs. The emerging trends, There's some pretty great things happening in the industry, in the mortgage world. The multi-generational living is on the rise. Family Opportunity Loan Program is a great loan program that I have done several of these and I find great pleasure. And this comes into play if you have a family member, maybe a parent or a disabled child that can live on their own, but they cannot afford to buy a home. They could be on a very limited income. This program allows you to be able to buy a home for your parent or a disabled child, and they can actually live right next door to you. You can buy them a home. It's considered to be a primary residence, which means it then does allow you to put down a lower down payment and you get the better rate than buying something for an investment property. I will say that I did one, my most recent one was for a daughter who was bringing her mother out. Her mother lived on Social Security income and she could not afford a mortgage payment. So her daughter was able to buy a house for her that literally was in the same neighborhood as her. And she can walk and check on her and yet the mother still feels like she has her independence. So that's called the Family Opportunity Mortgage. Another program that came out is that federal FHA has realized that families are moving in together and more people are starting to live and rent out rooms, and they call that border income. At one time, we could never count border income because we had to show that you were a caregiver for that person. But now FHA has realized that due to the economics, a lot of people are renting out rooms and they can use that border income as qualifying income. So it has to be proven for a year that they have made those payments and that there is a lease in place. So that's really good news for those people who are looking or who are taking in border income. The other trends that I find to be very interesting are the 3D printed homes. A 3D printed home cost about $140,000 for a brand new home. I went to one. I belong to a Rotary group in Newport News, and we went to one that was being built, and it was pretty amazing to see this thing go up. So if you have the opportunity, you can Google 3D homes. They have them right here in our backyard, and they have become a new affordable housing for a lot of people. So I think we're going to see some of that really moving into a new trend for us. And speaking of technology and the age of AI, if you're like me, it's a whole new animal. It definitely opens up a lot of questions and maybe some securities or insecurities. But a local lender such as we are deeply rooted in the community. Unlike AI, the information they give you is just a broad spectrum. But here we actually live in the community. We know the neighborhoods. We know how prices are going and what you can qualify for. So rates are different in every state. Every loan program has a different rate. Every loan program has a different requirement that AI is not going to give you. So you really do want to be able to speak to a local lender to help you navigate the mortgage process. This is some interesting resources. The most valuable home buying resources is that you ask your real estate agent for advice. So they still are much dependent upon in this environment. So you want to make sure that you have a good rapport with your realtor. You also ask family and friends. You read articles, blogs, social media, and of course your lender. So realtors are good to know the real estate market. They know about the house. And then it's my responsibility as a loan officer to know the loan programs and to answer all of those questions. There is still, oh, sorry, Richard, there's still a strong appetite for home buying. So 67% of the Gen Z are looking to buy a home this year. That they were born in 1997 to 2012. So the average person 28 years old is looking to buy their first home. 51% are millennials that are out there shopping for homes, and they're between the ages of 44 and 29. Gen X, 60 to 45 years old, are also out there still looking. And 22%, believe it or not, 79 to 61 are looking to buy their home too. But it is that 28, they are older and they're thinking more about how they want to move into buying home ownership. Okay. For the fourth straight year, homeowners ranked convenience and ease. So they want an easy process. They want it to be convenient for them. 1,000 homeowners were who purchased a home in the last 5 years. 72% of them want convenience, and 60% want the benefits of using the technology. So I'm sure, like you can get on Zoom or, you can get on Zillow, you can get on Redfin. Your realtor can actually go do a walkthrough, do a virtual tour. All these apps are available to them, and you don't even have to leave your house yet, right? So you can get that virtual tour, get an idea if that's where you want to go. A lot of home buyers are doing a lot of their homework before they even get into the car to start driving around to see if that's the house that they want to possibly make an offer on. As a bidding war and low inventory and rising interest rates intensify competition, buyers have to be creative and stay ahead of the game. The great thing about once you are pre-approved with us and is that once you see a home or you're interested in a home, because rates do change every day, I encourage all of my buyers to stay in touch and to say, hey, gee, I'm getting ready to go look at this house. Can you run the estimate for me? Tell me what that mortgage payment's going to look like. How much money do I need at closing? Those are the important things that you need to know, because last week that rate could be very different than what it is today. Okay. Time saving, 51% also wanted to be able to save on time. Technology is revolutionizing the home buying process, making it more accessible, efficient, and tailored to individual needs. Virtual tours, technology, and changing homes the way we buy. Buyers can see a home online, like I talked about before, through a virtual tour. The digital age has introduced many platforms and simplifies the initial stages of home buying. So that's our conclusion on the affordability and financing. Location, property EC, thank you.